Saturday on KSJE.
Expand your knowledge with the Academic Minute. Each day, travel with us around the world to learn what professors are researching within their specialties and be the first in the know. Listen as we discover the newest green innovations, research the behavioral patterns of animals, and examine how the arts are being studied today. You'll find it all on the Academic Minute.
Listen every weekday afternoon during the KSJE Evening News at 5:30. Eleven minutes past 8 o'clock. It is Wednesday morning, the 9th day of April, 2025. Good morning, everybody. I'm Scott Micklin. Thanks for tuning in to KSJE, 90.9 FM over the air here in San Juan County, New Mexico. In Durango, Colorado, we broadcast at 103.3 FM. And if you're listening to my voice from anywhere else on the planet, go to our website to do that, ksje.com. I also want to welcome our viewers who are joining us this morning. The video of this program is streaming out live to the KSJE Facebook page and also to our YouTube channel. So welcome aboard, everyone. So glad that you are with us, because this morning we're going to be talking about the importance of volunteers. And no place is that more evident than San Juan Regional Medical Center. We have a couple of their very dedicated volunteers with us here this morning. So we'll be talking with them about the jobs that they do at the hospital and much more. That is coming up in the next few moments right here on KSJE this morning. Then we invite you to stay tuned, because next hour, Mick Hess will take over the studio, our weekday classical music program, Roving with the Arts. That is coming your way after the news at 9:06 this morning. Stay tuned, because after that at 10:30, our local and regional author program, Right on Four Corners. Delcherie Gladden is speaking with Arizona author Sydney Graves about her latest book called The Arizona Triangle. You'll hear about that coming up this morning at 10:30 right here on KSJE as well. Don't forget, you can also connect with us on X and Instagram in addition to Facebook and YouTube. And if you're a podcast person, we invite you to listen to KSJE podcasts. They're available to subscribe to wherever you're listening to podcasts. So check it out. Maybe discover a new local program that you may have missed recently. Outside our studios here at San Juan College, it is a sunny Wednesday morning, 42 degrees at the moment. We're expecting mostly sunny weather today with a high of 73 in Farmington. Clear skies overnight, the low 44. Sunny and a bit warmer tomorrow with a high of 76 on Thursday, 79 degrees by Friday, 78, partly sunny skies on Saturday, cooling off to 71 on Sunday with overnight lows peaking around the mid-50s Saturday night, back to the upper 40s on Sunday. I'll be back with my guest to talk the importance of volunteers right after this on KSJE. KSJE is supported by San Juan Regional Medical Center. The most important ingredients to sustaining health and wellness are the resources and tools that help you live a vibrant and healthy life. At San Juan Regional Medical Center, the goal is to promote health by making sure those resources are available. Find the path to the best life at lifebetterhere.com. San Juan Regional Medical Center. Better is our mission, improving lives through personalized health and care. KSJE is supported by Riverfest, a tropical staycation on the Animas River, presented by the River Reach Foundation, Memorial Day weekend in Farmington. Become a volunteer, work a 2-hour shift, and receive a free t-shirt. Many volunteer opportunities are available, from working at the ticket, merchandise, or information booths, directing traffic, helping with tables and chairs, setting up for the Wiener Dog races. Riverfest, May 23rd, 24th, and 25th along the Animas River in Farmington. Find out more at riverfestnewmexico.com. And back in Studio A this morning with my guest, as I mentioned, from San Juan Regional Medical Center to talk about volunteers this morning. Let me introduce everyone to you here this morning. Teresa Becker is back with me this morning. Of course, she is the manager of volunteer services at San Juan Regional Medical Center. Good morning. Thank you for coming in this morning.
Good morning.
Good to have you here. You brought with you two of your volunteers.
I did.
Right, and so we're glad to have them with us as well. Stephanie Byrom is back with us this morning. Stephanie is a volunteer at the hospital. She's been so since 2008 and is the third generation of volunteers at the hospital. Good morning to you. Thank you for being here.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming back. And also joining us this morning is Anna Buffington. She has served as a volunteer for 7 years at the hospital at the Cancer Center and also serves on the board of directors for the hospital at the moment. Anna, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thank you all for coming in this morning and talking about the important jobs that you all do. And Teresa, let me start with you a little bit about the importance of volunteers. The two that you brought are just a small sample of the over 100, probably closer to what? How many volunteers at the hospital these days?
What did we come up with? 143.
About 150 or 143, okay.
We're slowly regaining ground after COVID. We
Right.
kind of dropped off and are rebuilding.
You and I have talked about that, right? So that's got to be exciting to see numbers growing in the right direction, right?
Definitely.
Very good.
Although we're fixing to lose a lot of teens again. That's kind of the cycle of life there, but it's exciting to see the
Sure.
masses come out, but then they go off to college, but hopefully they'll be back
Right.
working in our hospital someday.
That's the idea,
Yes.
right? And there's a whole new set of teens that are moving up too,
Yes.
right? That are maybe tweens and will soon be teens, and maybe will join you too.
Absolutely, and some of them are siblings of our existing volunteers, so
Very,
that's fun.
very good, very good. And we should mention too that the month of April is a volunteer appreciation month,
Correct.
and there's a volunteer appreciation week as well.
Yes,
a part of that.
we kind of celebrate all year, well, all month long.
Sure.
But we kind of target one specific week, and we've got a couple of events coming up.
Yeah, very good. And with that volunteer, the group that you have, I mean, they serve in a variety of areas, and we'll talk to the two volunteers that are here with us this morning about what specifically they do at the hospital, but it really does save the hospital a lot by having this whole big team of volunteers doing important tasks in and around the hospital, does it not?
It does, and we're grateful for every minute that they choose to come and provide service there at the hospital, but it is rewarding for them as well, hopefully. But it is a cost savings to the hospital if they had to pay wages
Right.
for that time. It's
You actually
pretty
did the
incredible.
math, or someone did the math.
Well, yeah, there's a formula. We don't have our total hours yet for what was served this past year. We're still crunching numbers, but we'll get that calculation going. But it's pretty amazing.
Right. And then also, I know we want to talk a little bit too about some of the funds that are raised or earned through the volunteer program from things like the gift market and things like that. And that is something that the volunteers can use to buy equipment and other things to support the hospital and other
Correct.
things like scholarships or other services, things like that.
Our gift market is our biggest fundraiser, so all the proceeds raised in that facility is used for equipment or scholarships or education funding. And then we also do lobby sales where we earn a commission based on what is sold out there too. So that's slowly rebuilding as well.
Right, right. Very good. Well, let me turn to Stephanie Byrom a little bit and ask her about
Okay.
some of the work that she does. And Stephanie, talk to me a little bit about the job that you do as a volunteer at the hospital,
So
please.
I'm with educational assistants.
Right.
And we provide scholarships for teens. This year we had 16. That was a record number who applied for scholarships.
How wonderful.
Yes, and we will be awarding each one of them some
Some money.
some funds.
Nice.
Yes, yes.
And these are teens that maybe want to get into the healthcare field? Is that kind of the idea?
Yes, that's kind of what a lot of them are getting into. Some of them are engineering, and then we had some doctors and nurses that they want to go that
Sure.
route. Mm-hmm.
Very good.
And then we also give money to employees or people in the community who are going to be maybe coming to get a job at the hospital. And for those, we give $1,000 a semester, and they have to go through an application process.
Mm-hmm.
But it's unlimited funds. The only criteria is that they give back a year of work at the hospital.
I see.
And so all their
Nice.
They don't have to pay anything back.
Okay. So it could be maybe used for relocation expenses or things like that? Is that kind of what you think? Or is it for education?
Books and tuition.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
Yes.
Got it. But it still helps them, certainly with
Yes.
those expenses, for
Yes.
sure. So, wonderful. Very good. And you spend some time working in the gift market, do you not, as part of your volunteer for a while?
I have done some, I've been the merchandiser in the gift market. I've been the gift market manager, and really enjoyed it. And now I just come in to help with special occasions.
These things, right. And you also, I think, help with maybe some booths at health fairs and things like that, too, from
Yes.
time to time,
Yep.
as those come around? Because
Yep.
I know the hospital's a big supporter of those events in the community.
Yes.
So, very good. Well, thank you for your service and your volunteerism to the hospital. And that brings me over to Anna Buffington. Let me talk to you a little bit about the work that you do, too,
Okay.
at the Cancer Center, correct?
Correct. Well, I do the Cancer Center and the gift market.
And the gift market.
Right.
Got you. And so you've been doing that for now, let me see. I'm looking at my notes. About 7 years?
7 years, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Very good. What types of things at the gift market? Are you there to help people find their perfect gift?
Absolutely.
Right.
We have to kind of keep an eye on what kind of inventory we have because it's ever changing. But mostly we sell a lot of Red Bull to employees. That's our big cash cow.
Okay. Well, that's all right.
And we have all sorts of nice, unique gifts in the gift market. Our buyer does a really good job
Yeah.
getting stuff for us. So, and we try to have one, well, we have one person there all the time, but we try to have two if we can, especially during busy hours.
Right.
And try and get people in and out. And then I also help at the Cancer Center, which is near and dear to my heart. I help the nurse navigator, Deb Alvin, get the stuff ready for our monthly support groups. We have a women's cancer support group that meets monthly. And actually today is the day.
Okay.
At lunch we meet. And we're there to help women as they struggle through or have struggled through cancer. It's kind of a lifelong thing when
Sure.
you have it. So
Nice to be able to show that support to each other, I imagine.
Yes,
right?
it is. It's huge. I was not a big fan of support groups, but I was kind of dragged over there my first day, and it was interesting and it was scary. But I went back every day, and now I love it. We just.
What was it that changed your mind, I guess, about
Well,
that?
I guess I had this preconceived notion about support groups that you had to stand up and tell everything, and I wasn't that kind of person. But I got in there and I realized if you want to talk, you talk. If you don't, you don't. But there are people there to help you if you need help, and
Nice.
that's the whole point of the support group because we've
Right.
all been through it. So
Right. And so for any woman who was listening to us this morning
yes,
that maybe had not heard of the support group or maybe felt like you did, that maybe have come check it out and maybe
give it
you'll
a
change your
chance,
mind,
yeah.
huh?
Yep, give it a chance. You'll get lunch and visit with some pretty nice people.
Right, right.
So yeah.
Very good. And you became a volunteer after a career of service at the hospital,
Yes,
right?
I worked at the hospital for 37 years, and then I knew I wanted to go back and do something because the hospital's near and dear to my heart, and so I waited about a year, gave myself a year off, and then I went back. I first started out in the information desk and helping people, which was great because I knew where stuff was.
Sure.
So I could move people around pretty easily, and then COVID hit, and we kind of had to close down the volunteer services. When I came back, I went back in the gift market, which I had never run a cash register, so I was scared to death. But I quickly learned, and I don't try not to make any mistakes, but you know how it goes.
Well, I bet you don't, but that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
And I think, again, the gift market, as you mentioned, too, has a lot of unique items. I think a lot of folks
Yes.
even maybe come there on holiday time to
Oh, yeah.
look for something that just fits the person that they're trying to buy a gift for. so.
Holidays, Christmas and Valentine's Day are big days for, right, to get
Right.
people stuff.
Halloween, too.
Halloween, oh yeah, Halloween.
good point.
All sorts of unique gifts for
Yeah.
people. So.
Very good. Well, thank you for being here as well this
Well, thank
morning.
you.
Really appreciate that and your service in both capacities to the hospital and the community. So we appreciate that as well. Teresa, I want to come back to you a little bit about the stories that we're hearing, and that's repeated, I think, from every volunteer that you have, right? They all have reasons for serving and reasons for coming back to the hospital if they work there for a while, or reasons of why they want to work in the place where they are volunteering and things like that. You make it, I think, pretty easy for someone to sign up and become a volunteer.
We hope it's an easy process. The days of just walking in the door and saying, "Hey, I wanna volunteer here. What can I do?"
Well, that doesn't happen anymore.
Doesn't
I
happen
understand
anywhere.
that, right? So.
There is an application process. All of our volunteers, including our teens, have to be fingerprinted and go through a background check. There's some vaccination requirements and a
Which
little
makes
bit of
sense
education.
because of the nature of the
Yeah.
position, really.
Right. It's all about protecting our patients. So if we're in the same building with those patients, we're going to be as safe as possible.
Sure.
So,
Right.
a lot of training just for the role that they're doing, but the general hospital information that we need to learn, confidentiality,
All those
HIPAA,
things. Right. Oh,
safety,
HIPAA's a big one,
all
right?
of those
Yeah.
things.
Very
Yep.
true.
But then once that happens, I listen to them, try to hear out their interests, try to match what we have available or modify something if we need to. We've done that before.
Right.
There's still parameters and boundaries. We can't just turn volunteers loose. Hey, go do brain surgery today.
Well, I understand that. It's, so that probably makes sense, but
Yep.
that's true. But you have a lot of different areas where folks can volunteer, and I guess a lot of other things. If someone wants to come in for just a couple of hours a week or a month, or they have more time to spend, you can kind of work around that too, can you not?
Yes, our goal is that they serve at least 50 hours a year, which is really easy to do. Folks that come in every
It's about
week
an hour a week in my rough
can-
math early
can
on a
crank
Wednesday
that
morning.
out easily. But for our teens, that's a little tougher. They're still working
Sure.
around school schedules and sports and all the things they've got going on. Adults, it's a little bit easier. Some of them may have physical limitations, so we try to work around that. And
Right.
if they can't walk great distances, we'll be mindful of that. So just whatever we can do to accommodate.
Lots of different opportunities.
Correct.
I would say too, right? And
Yes.
again, I think for teens, younger people that want to get into the medical field, it's probably a great introduction to the way a hospital works. It's probably not like we see it on TV, or is it?
I don't think it is. I usually try to tell them that during their interviews. We do have them go through an interview process. We have the parent there just to experience that, because we're also teaching them real life skills and preparing them for the work world.
Right.
And that's a good experience for them, and it allows the parents to hear firsthand what the expectations are and things like that. But we usually have the conversation of, this is not like what you see on TV, and you're gonna hear things, you're gonna smell things, you're gonna see things, and it's not filtered like what they may experience watching it on TV.
Right, or be expected.
But some of them are very excited about that, and some of them think they might be interested in a healthcare career, and it may sway them the other direction. More often than not, it reinforces their desire.
Sure, right.
So
but I
that's
think that's
fun.
great. And I think for mom and dad who may be thinking of paying for a college education, if their child doesn't maybe think that's a good fit, that's probably a good thing to learn before a couple semesters.
Exactly.
So there's that as well. But great opportunities for volunteers of any age almost at the hospital. How old do they need to be to work with you? 16?
14. They
14.
can be as young as 14.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. And you're accepting applications all the time?
All the time, yeah. We don't just limit it to a certain time frame. It's year round.
Right.
We do see surges like about now. It's starting to
Sure.
hit as people are planning. What's going to happen for summer when they're out of school. So
Right. That's a good option. So there you go. Can folks just go to the website to do that, to get an application up? Would they find it there?
Yes. There's many ways they can access the application. They can just contact me by phone, which is 505-609-6156. They can go to the website, sanjuanregional.com, and just look for the volunteer tab, and they can apply right there online.
Very good.
And yeah, lots of opportunities.
And you'll take it from there.
Yes.
So wonderful. Now, we were talking a little bit about the money that is raised by the auxiliary and by the volunteers at the hospital, and all those sales of Red Bull cans apparently add up over
Yes.
the
Yes,
year.
they
So it ends up with a pretty nice chunk of change that then you're able to use for these scholarships and other financial assistance for some of these folks, but also the equipment that you're able to purchase for the hospital. I wanted to ask you a little bit about that because you've purchased a pretty interesting looking piece of equipment that I want to talk about. So talk to me a little bit about that. This
Yes,
item, right?
this is
and I
hot-
can't even figure out how it's pronounced, but you'll tell me.
Well, I'm not even 100% sure. It's hot
Okay.
off the press. We
Okay.
just approved this. The auxiliary board was presented with this proposal, and it's a piece of equipment that will benefit the cancer center. And as you can see from the photo there, it's called an Alta device, and it's an immobilization system. And so it helps limit movement
Right.
and
During
minimize
scans and
Yeah,
things?
when they're breathing, it's kind of compressing that area so they're not moving, and they get a more accurate
Target.
target.
Yeah.
And then
I see.
that accuracy just has changed the way this treatment happens, including reducing the number of overall visits the patients have
Nice.
in that course of treatment.
Okay.
Did I get that right? Anna's probably
I think
better.
so. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
go
did.
ahead.
Informed on
I'm
this.
not an expert on it either, but the way Scott explained it to us when he came and talked to us
Not
about
me.
it.
The
Not
other-
you,
another
not you.
Scott.
A
Yeah.
different Scott.
Yeah.
He said that, because the person is held in a very specific position, that it actually does cut down on their visits, which is a big deal when you're getting radiation.
Right. I
Yeah,
would think so.
so,
So
yes.
that's probably one of the reasons that it was approved, because I imagine you all get a number of these proposals to decide upon, right? Is that the idea? There are some multiple requests. You can't maybe fund all of them.
We have kind of a unique system now. It actually includes our senior leadership team in
Mm-hmm.
helping decide what proposals actually come to the auxiliary, because
Okay,
they see
sure.
it all. They see all of the capital equipment needs.
Right.
And they kind of filter through. They're not going to send us the huge dollar amounts. But we can accommodate. We kind of give them a target of what we think we can spend for the year.
Right.
And so this is actually the first item that we've seen in quite a while. Rebuilding from COVID, building our donation dollars back up. But it was very exciting
Nice.
to receive this, and I think the auxiliary board did not hesitate
Right.
to approve. This is a $42,000 item. So, yay.
Not too
Yes.
shabby. I was going to ask you how much it
Yay,
cost.
Red Bulls.
Right. That's a lot. That's a lot of Red Bulls and other things too. But it just goes to show how all those purchases add up to
Yes.
help, again, get reinvested into the community in terms of equipment like this and the scholarships and the other things that we're talking about this morning that kind of go back into the people in the community that want to get into healthcare or things like that. And so this is one of those examples where this piece of equipment will maybe help cut down, as you said, on visits, maybe save folks some dollars and time and things like that, and maybe better outcomes.
Yes.
Which is also part of this too.
Preserve their tissue too.
Yeah.
It's not killing off tissue that didn't have.
Doesn't need to be, I guess, right?
Right. So
Get rid of the bad, keep the good.
yes.
So
Right.
all that's really important. So, but very interesting. And so you bought one of these.
Yes.
So for now, I
Yes.
guess. So very good.
We'll start with one. See how it
Right.
goes.
Excellent. But I think that's really great. And again, it lets the community know kind of what their dollars at the gift market are going towards and things like that. And so that's really great to be able to know. So what do you planned this month for your volunteers? Do you have some other things that are going on? You mentioned you celebrate for the whole month, right?
We do.
Mostly.
For the adults, we have a gala. It's a brunch, but we're calling it a Good Morning Gala, and that's going to be a fun time to celebrate their accomplishments. We award for years and hours of service. And just a nice time to get together and see each other. Everybody kind of works their own shifts, and they might see the person before their shift and after, but collectively don't necessarily see each other all the time. So
There's 141 other people volunteering that they could be
that's always
seeing, right?
fun. Yes, and that we could tack on an extra couple of hours for that
Yes.
time to
Right.
just allow visitation. But and then for the teens, that's really evolved and become quite the event because of these scholarships. Our amount that we're able to award just keeps increasing, as well as the number of applicants. We actually have 21 teens graduating this year.
Wow. Okay.
And so 16 did apply for our scholarship. So we'll be awarding that, and that's very exciting. But we also award their hours and years of service
Sure.
there too. And there's always food involved. Food is important.
Well, that helps. Yes, that's true. But again, I think you have been working on this volunteer program and how to recognize and thank your volunteers, and I think that's appreciated by the folks who are putting in their time and talents too. And so
Hopefully.
it's a great program. So that's wonderful. Now you did come with me with some data and some numbers about just how all these things kind of add up from your volunteers. And before we run out of time, I do want to kind of touch on that, because the numbers maybe are surprising to folks on how many things that these volunteers have done over the year, like escorting customers, because I know I was one of those in 2025, and I don't know my way around that hospital as much as I think I do. I don't, and I would be lost for days if there wasn't a volunteer to help me get to where I need to go. But talk to me about the numbers.
When you become a volunteer with us, Scott, we'll train you well.
Okay, I hope so, yes. But they add up, right?
It does, and this is just a fraction of the activity that actually goes on up at the information desk, but we were able to segregate what activity by the volunteers versus the employees up there. So we had, for the year, 2,365 volunteer escorts, which means showing them to different locations in the hospital for whatever reason.
Nicklin's wandering around. Someone go find him.
Yeah. Or the gift shop, to buy those great gift items.
Sure.
Then actual transports, that might be, we actually took somebody in a wheelchair to the radiology department or cardiopulmonary or all the different locations in the hospital. We never transport anybody in a gurney, that's a whole different level.
They're in a wheelchair or something like that.
They're in a wheelchair, and we get them to where they need to go. And then actual discharges, when they're ready to go home, we had 1,558. So they're busy up there. There's a lot of activity.
Yeah.
They participate in delivering items. We always think of flowers, which is great. Balloon.
Right. Those are two patient rooms,
Two
right?
patient rooms. They family will bring in items for them. Maybe don't have time to visit, so we'll deliver those items for them.
Nice.
Sometimes it's food if they can have it. That's kind of limited these days.
Right, but that's almost 1,000
that's
of
a
those
lot.
over the year.
Right.
So very good. And then some other craft projects that your volunteers are known for too, of putting together some of these items that then can be used throughout the year for patients. Talk to me about some of those.
So our craft ladies, they get together every week, and they call these little stuffed animals they make, they call them critters, and they've been doing that for years. So they made 480 of those, which is a lot of critters. Eye pillows. We've got actually one volunteer who makes these eye pillows.
Just one?
Just one.
Who made all of them?
Yes.
And the number is how many?
Amazing. 525.
Okay.
Yes, and that's actually Ann Palmer.
Wow.
Pretty
Very
impressive.
Good. Right.
The baby stockings, it's a lower number this year than normal. They made 59, and that was because they had so many they made last year. They had some carryover, so it'll probably catch up eventually. But those are always very popular and well received. And then cancer bags, they made 107. And we have a small group of folks that belong to different church groups and things that help us with some of these projects. They make them kind of on their own time and bring them in, and they still come and benefit our patients here, and we appreciate their help.
Right.
They've made pillowcases. That usually is for our pediatric patients, and those are always popular and bright and colorful and fun. They get to take them home when they leave. And then quilts, they've made 30, and that doesn't sound like a lot, but if you see these quilts, they
quilts,
are
right?
impressive,
Yeah,
and I know you just don't crank those out in a few days. That's very time consuming. And
Very true.
they are very dedicated to making these items.
Amazing. Very good. Well, again, thanks to them and their talents for doing that and sharing those with the patients. Those little critters, I think, what do they show up on, like trays for food from the, or what?
No,
where
the
do you put them?
critters, actually, they keep them in the ER. They keep them
Okay.
in the lab, up at outpatient
Okay.
diagnostic center. So it's usually for the kiddos if they're
I gotcha.
having to get a vaccination or a shot or, stitches or whatever, and they're
I
scared.
see.
It's just,
Yeah.
something to comfort them.
Sure. Nice.
Yep.
Very good.
Yeah, the tray favors are
That's what
popular
I'm thinking
too.
of. That's what I'm thinking of.
Those come out, and actually, the college with the Martin Luther King Day of Caring,
That's
the
what was
last
done
few
here.
years
That's right.
have been making a lot of the tray
tray
favor
favors.
items that go. And we utilize those. I bet that covers us for about 6 months because they
Wonderful.
do spring,
Right.
some select holidays. So it's a lot of fun.
Very good. Community effort.
Yes.
It sounds like to me. So that's
Yep,
wonderful.
takes a village.
Very good. And before we do run out of time, I do want to come back to Stephanie because I'm noticing the dollar amounts on some of the notes that you brought with you this morning on the amount of dollars that are spent on the educational assistance and things like that, that I did want to just let the audience know how much money we are talking about, because as you talk about these different scholarships and other assistance for these folks, it adds up, and it's a significant amount that, again, comes from the dollars raised from the volunteer gift market and other things that the auxiliary does. So please fill us in on some of those, please.
Yes. So last year we awarded $32,000 for our teens. And then for spring and fall semesters, we awarded $20,650.
Wow. That's significant.
Yes,
So-
it is. We feel like we're helping the employees achieve their educational goals, and it just makes them better employees, I think, in
Right.
the hospital. And then the teens, college is really expensive right now, and so we feel like we're just helping them.
Very
too.
true. Well, and you're kind of growing your own, if you will, if they come back and work
Right.
with you is the idea,
Yeah.
I'm sure. So
Yes.
that's wonderful. So thank you for that as
Yeah.
well, and really appreciate it. And I'm afraid we are out of time now, everybody. So I apologize that we've run out of time because there's much more to talk about. But I certainly appreciate you all being here with me this morning to celebrate the volunteers and all the folks that do all the work that you do and help the community. Teresa, thank you for doing the job that you do with all these volunteers and continuing on at the hospital and coming to talk with me about it. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you. I'm really fortunate to have this job.
Well, you do it very well. So, like I said, you can do it in your sleep. Maybe, right? Possibly.
That was you.
Oh, okay. Stephanie Byrom, thank you for being here. Anna Buffington, thank you for being here as
having
well,
us.
and
Yes.
for the work that you all do as well. My guests here from San Juan Regional Medical Center on KSJE. KSJE and the San Juan College Native American Center present the Student Study Tip of the Week.
Hello, good day. My name is Demetrius. This is your study tip of the week. Studying without distractions is crucial. If you're studying alone, try to find a quiet space or put headphones in to block out noise from your surroundings. If you're in an area trying to study and it's just not working out, relocate. It might be frustrating to have to pick up and move, but it will be worth it once you're in a good environment. Consider putting your phone on silent or vibrate too. You can always respond to your messages after your study session.
The Student Study Tip of the Week is presented by the San Juan College Native American Center and KSJE.
Hi, I'm Sam Payne, host of The Appleseed, an hour filled with stories for you and your family. And we're not talking about news stories here. We're talking about fairy tales and folk tales and personal stories and family tales and even a little music from time to time. And each story could spark a memory for you that you can share with the people that you love. Hear The Appleseed every Thursday at noon, right here on the information and cultural beacon of the Four Corners, KSJE, Farmington, New Mexico.